Islam, peace, shalom, hotep, Canaanland Moors, Tuesday class. Today is the 23rd of June 2015. I like when people try to play me like I'm stupid. Like I'm stupid. Right? If people try to play me like I'm stupid, so May 11th, 2014, got this resignation from one of the Moors out here because, you know, I'll read his resignation for you, right? So May 11, 2014. Keep in mind, this was the time when they were doing all their little slander campaign against Cujo, and you know he's trying to get single mothers to have sex with him and all this other stuff, right? And mind you, May 11th, so they're hitting this up before my solar return to try to put me on a down vibration like spirit cares about solar return, right? So stupid these guys are. Dirty Moors. Telling people, be careful. So all we're doing is reiterate what Noble Juali said. Be careful. Your own is going to put you in slavery. Don't worry about no goddamn Europeans. Who enslaved our own? According to Seti and all those people, Moors. Right? Isn't that what it is? Right? Isn't that what it is? Moors enslaved the European. Moors enslaved the black people. All right, cool. We're going to accept that. Noble Juali came after all that and told the Moors, be careful, it's your own that's going to put you in slavery. Your own. Whether it's mental slavery, psychological slavery, emotional slavery, financial slavery, physical slavery, whatever, it's always going to be your own. And we're at the point right now, we're at the threshold of this suffering being over from our own. We're like, our toe is at the threshold. You know what I mean? But why does it continue? Because, once again, our own. Not staying true to the principles. Well, forget the, let's talk about Somali right now. Let's go here first, right? Not staying true to the principles that's been laid down. Not staying true to the principles. We want to bring up all type of modern stuff and talk about those are principles. You don't stay true to the principles, and then you try to play games, and then when people don't take the games, when people say, nah, I'm not, you're not playing me or whatever like that, they continue to play the game. So May 11, 2014, we got a resignation letter. The resignation letter. Let's see if this is in here quick fast. Because I don't know if people aren't studying or they're just stupid, but you can't send a resignation letter and say that you're resigning and then act like that ain't what it is. All right. Resignation. This is page 1474, Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Resignation. Formal renouncement or relinquishment of an office. It must be made with intent of relinquishing the office accompanied by act of relinquishment. In ecclesiastical law, where a parson, vicar, or other beneficed clergyman voluntarily gives up and surrenders his charge and preferment to those from whom he received the same, it is usually done by an instrument attested by a notary. So relinquishment of an office. Okay? So 2011, 2014. To whom it may concern, it is with sorrow that myself and my family withdraw our connection and membership. Further, I resign my position as Grand Governor with the Moorish Science Temple, Ontario Territory. I have been studying and researching Moorish science, Moorish nationality, Moorish degrees for approximately 8 years. It was such a promising endeavor, giving great hope to brothers and sisters alike. The reality I experienced across Northwest Amexem was that the leadership for the most part is co-opted with opportunists who care more about self-aggrandizement and monetary gain than the upliftment of fallen humanity, a sad state of affairs. This may seem like a harsh statement, but sometimes the truth hurts. I am only interested in one thing, seeing my people rise. The Prophet left us with one charge, to uplift fallen humanity. He also said, we can't all be awoken at the same time, or it will be hell on earth. Therefore, if our brothers and sisters have not gravitated to teaching or reached the vibratory scales we feel they need to be, we have no right to speak to them in a demeaning, derogatory manner. In fact, we have failed in the 5 principles. I showed you 42 principles just now, right? And few 5 principles, right? We have failed in the 5 principles given to us by our Prophet: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The Prophet told us to study, 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 and when you have finished studying, study yourself. One who studies becomes an academic. An academic does not have to use vile and corrosive language to express him or herself. The truth is, we make a mockery of ourselves when we speak in such vile terms. The studious ones know who can attract more individuals with honey than with garlic. This causes me to wonder if we are trying to tear down the house the Prophet so painstakingly built rather than continue its upliftment. Over the years, I have brought some ideas to the table which I had sought the opinion of members before bringing to the Grand Chief. Although the members thought they were good ideas, for some reason, the fire was immediately put out. This also caused me to wonder if we were truly building a nation, or if all these Moorish sayings were just a good soundbite, i.e., there's no big I's or little U's. With us, everyone's Grand Chief. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. We talk about our matriarchs being our queen, using the same mouth we are calling them bitches and hoes. Is this double-mindedness? For me, it is quite simple. Now, just to address bitches and hoes, for the record, go listen to the Jeru song, right? Bitches. And here Jeru tell you, I'm not talking about the queens, but what? The bitches. Not the sisters, but what? The bitches. Not the young ladies, but what? The bitches, the bitches, the bitches. So clearly, a bitch is a bitch, a hoe is a hoe. And we're not talking about the queens, and we're talking about the good sisters, and we're not talking about the people who we honor and respect that are the opposite gender of myself. We're talking about the cutthroat, low down, dirty, knee bitches that are going to text me 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the night telling me that I'm a shit Grand Chief and I'm not doing my job and why am I doing this and that, and then they're going to put up stuff on Scribd, and then they're going to say that I'm getting sexual favors from single women in order for me to call child services on them. Bitches. Bonita, Linda, Plaz, El Bay, Kemi, Bay, and all these other bitches who they have no intentions of getting off their welfare. They have no intentions of getting off their cigarettes. Their whole purpose is to slander and try to make me look like I'm some evil, bad man trying to destroy them when they're destroying themselves. How about get off your cancer sticks? How about get off your welfare and go get a job? Right? Back to this joker. For me, it is quite simple. In the prophet has spoken, it says, all governors, grand chiefs, and head officials that guide any body of Moors, of any temple of Moor, they must forever live the life of love at home, and it must be known to all the members. They must not speak harsh words, nor any profane language in the mildest form to any other individual, because a leader without influence of good works cannot be a leader. A leader without good works. My works prove itself. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I've been doing what I've been doing. I've woken up hundreds of people. I've brought this information to hundreds of people who are extremely grateful for me bringing this information to them. Regardless of harsh words and profanities and whatever like that, this is the age that we live in. This is the era that we live in. Don't expect me to be some priest or some long jaliba wearing good Christian. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen because I'm pissed at the fact that I wasn't born a Moor. Why wasn't I born a Moor? Because dirty Moors. Because Moors killed the prophet, pretend like they're down with the Moorish movement, going around changing flags, doing whatever else that they do, and making this seem like, this is not the people's stuff. And then have the people thinking that this is not their stuff because, in order for them to be down with this, they got to adopt Islam and they got to wear fezzes and they got to do all this stuff when this is birthright. And it has nothing to do with any of the ritualistic things that these people are trying to push this thing as, right? To be a real Moorish leader, you must study the Quran and the divine constitution that is handed down unto you by I, the Prophet. In closing, I cannot be party to any group, society, or nation who in any way threatens the mothers of its own children or hands over our children to that of the transgressee against us, right? So he's going on the same, oh yeah, and this is Trevor Hamilton L, by the way, right? He's going on the same grounds as these bitches that I am calling child services on single mothers that are in the temple. This is what they're saying that I'm doing, right? I'm exploiting them sexually, and then I'm calling child services on them, right? Now, with regard to the individual who started that whole slander campaign, I can tell you personally, from me working in her building, that if I can walk by her door on her floor and tell her and hear her yelling at her children at the top of her lungs through her door, obviously anybody else in that building who hears that, knowing that that's clearly abuse, should call children's services on your dumb ass. Because obviously you don't care about your children if you're going to be yelling at them at the top of your lungs about their this and their that, and why don't they do this and why don't they do that and leave you alone and all this stuff. I stood at the door for about 10 minutes listening, right? So I know that she's a bitch. I know that. Innocent children, good children, right? This is the same sister who can't even, she's on welfare, she has the best looking weave, her nails are looking fresh every day, but when I work at the school board and I see her son, I'm buying him lunch because he doesn't have lunch because his mom didn't give him lunch that day. But she has the best nails though, and she has the best hair. And you're telling me that I'm not supposed to call out these frauds that are trying to pretend like they're down with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and they're making their children go to school with no lunch every day? But they have the best weave though. And they have the nicest sneakers. And when it's time to go to the party, they got the nicest cleavage showing dress. And they got the nicest back showing skirt and whatever else. Me personally, I don't care about dirty Moors. I don't care about connecting with them. I don't care about doing anything with them with regard to unity or nothing like that. Cross me once, don't even look in my direction ever again. Right? Don't even look in my direction. It is time for all Moors to step up to the mirror and take a hard look and judge him or herself. It seems there has been a great alchemy worked on us as a people. We seem not to be who our forefathers were. Be aware of your thoughts, they become your words. Be aware of your words, they become your actions. Be aware of your actions, they become your habits. Be aware of your habits, they become your character. Be aware of your character, it is your destiny. Continue in full life, Trevor Hamilton L. Okay, so that's May 11th, 2014, right? So now, keep in mind the timeline, right? Keep in mind the timeline, okay? March 29th, 2015, at 3:13 p.m., the same right to travel more that we did the expose about, I emailed him. Why did I email him? Remember, this is March 29th, 2015. Trevor Hamilton L. resigned March 11th, 2014, right? Islam more. I heard he spoke to Trevor L. and Melissa L. Before they try to play mind games with you about setting up departments when they effed off, we didn't kick them out. They left. And they are trying to backdoor through you. But they will not be in a position of a head of anything until they correct this slander that they put against Grand Sheik, Kudro, Adol, and the Moors. They have to correct their slander against myself and the temple in video and letter. That was March 29, 2015. A month ago, Trevor Hamilton L. comes by the temple. I haven't seen him or heard from him since March 11, 2012. About a month ago, he came by the temple. And ironically, all these dirty Moors in Canaanland always come by the temple on a Saturday when they know Kudro's not there. Always. It's a pattern with them. They never come on Sunday when Kudro's there. They always come on a day when somebody else is running that day. So they came on the day, he came on the day when Omar was at the temple. Brother Omar Bey, he knows what's going on because, he's in the Adab chamber. Oh, interesting. Like, what's this guy doing here? We haven't heard from you in almost a year. Well, I'm just here because, I'm trying to start up a department for something and, give more jobs and help the Moors and whatever. Okay. Well, maybe you should need to talk about Grand Sheik about that because, I'm just a member here. You know what I mean? Not my department to make no decisions, but, you probably need to talk to the Grand Sheik about that. Yeah, no problem, whatever, Doesn't come talk to Grand Sheik. Goes talks to the secretary. Same thing. Yeah, I want to start up this department. Don't forget, this is his resignation letter. He resigned. It is with sorrow that himself and his family withdraw their connection and membership. So if you withdraw your connection and membership, what the hell are you doing back here? For what? What is he here for? So he goes to secretary. Secretary now tells him, well, good that you want to help the Moors or whatever, but you resign. So if you're going to try to do anything with regard to anything, you probably need to speak to Grand Sheikh Kudro about that, because, that's the Grand Sheikh, you know what I mean? Moors in Canaanland that are down with the movement, they know what's up with position of Grand Sheikh. They know what's up, right? And they don't have any issues with any type of issues that they have coming to Grand Sheikh. Why? Because Grand Sheikh is, one of the best brothers out there, that if you got any type of situation or whatever, you can go to him. Even if it's against him, you can go to him and tell him, yo, you know what, I don't like whatever, and he'll sit down and build with you on it. Anybody and everybody who's dealt with me on a personal knows that, right? It's only these individuals who don't deal with me on a personal. They deal with me on Facebook and deal with me on an email and whatever like that, say that, I'm disgruntled and I'm mad at everybody and they can't build with me or whatever like that. Anybody who deals with me knows that whatever they see out there in social media is an alter ego to who I really am. Anybody who deals with me, right? Not only that, so after I send Jelani Bey this message, right, about, I heard you spoke to Trevor L. This is Jelani Bey now. I heard you spoke to him. I'm letting you know, Jelani Bey, in March 29th, these people are going to try to backdoor, to try to set up some department or whatever like that. So make sure when you deal with them that you let them know, you know what I mean, whatever's up. What did he do? Didn't even do that. He went now and tried to set up the department, the same department that this guy's coming and saying that, you know what I mean, going to all these different members, yeah, I want to set this department up. All these members telling him, yo, you need to talk to Grand Sheikh. He doesn't come talk to me, but he goes to Jelani. And guess what he does? He goes to Jelani to set up this department. Because some other Moor in the temple, remember, I haven't called Kudro yet, some other Moor in the temple told him that Jelani's good people, so, you know what I mean, go to him and, he'll help you with whatever. Come to find out today, he goes to Jelani to go set up some department. Jelani hit him up for $700 to set up some department. To undermine what we're doing here, after I messaged him already and told him these individuals aren't going to be the head of anything around here until they correct the slander that they did against me. I told Jelani Bey this, and I sent him the slander so he knows what it's about. What did he do? Pay that no attention, right? Take Trevor Hamilton L's $700, and I pray to Allah that he steals his money too. So I could point at Trevor Hamilton L, laugh in his face for being an idiot, instead of coming to Grand Sheikh and repenting for this crap, fraudulent slander that you tried to pull about, people misappropriating funds and all this type of stuff, right? And Jelani now sends this email now. Jelani sends this email now. If Hamilton was CC'd by accident, that means it was not intentional. I don't know why I would do that. My apologies. Why you CCing him in the first place in any emails that you having to do with the temple? When I already told you that, how are you accidentally CCing somebody? You don't accidentally CC somebody, especially when there's only 3 people on the email. So we're putting it out there to let people know about the dirt that people do when they're in positions of power, and that the Moorish movement is in the situation that it's in, where people are, I don't know, when they look at the Moorish movement, I don't know if I want to get down with that or whatever like that, is because of dirty Moors, who all these people like to befriend. All these people, no, we should bring all the Moors together and have a meeting so we can, pick one individual to be the head of all the Moors. There's no way that that's going down if there's traitors in the midst. It's not happening. And anybody who's talking stupid like that without ousting the traitors first is probably down with the traitors, trying to get them some credibility back. This no credibility is getting to anybody. What the people have to realize is that they have a birthright. What the people have to realize is that they have a prophet. And the prophet came and told you that this is your Moorish movement, and that he's your prophet, and that you should defend him and the movement, even putting your life on the line. Because dirty Moors, why do you think Noble Drew Ali told you Moors? Came for the young and unborn. This is 1913 to 1929. I came for the young and unborn. So what about all the adults around you? You never came for them? Like why would you come? Why would you come for the young and unborn? Why wouldn't you come for the people who are immediately around you in the era that you live in? Because everybody was dirty, and he knew that from the start. That's why he gave up on those people from the start. You don't get it? You don't get it? That Moors sold out this movement? You're sitting here blaming some European, and Noble Drew Ali told you, if the European helped me, why not you? So obviously the European didn't have nothing to do with the sellout of this movement. If he's going to tell you, if the European helped me, why not you? Doesn't that mean that the Europeans doing what they have to do to assist him in making sure that this information gets out to the people? Didn't he tell you that he's going to make the European tell the truth? Isn't the European telling the truth? Isn't Peter Moon telling the truth? Isn't Rick Smith telling the truth? Isn't Karen Hudis telling the truth? Isn't all these Europeans, that Church Ward and all these people putting out all these books about Mu Atlantis, Lemuria and all that stuff, they're not telling the truth? And then you're sitting here talking about unity with Moors that are dirty, that are traitors. And not only that they're dirty and that they're traitors, but one, they're in the FBI paper, so we know who all of them are. First thing. Secondly, Mealy Eel put out about 5 letters naming them, each individual one, naming all of them who the traitors are. Back then, that they're still around today. Going on Sarnetter TV talking about, yeah, come support the Moorish movement, we'll naturalize and all that type of stuff. And people don't get it. People still playing goddamn follower. When once again, the same mysteries of the secret brotherhood that they hid from you people, I know that they hid it. I'm in the Adept chamber. That book was exclusive to the Adept chamber until it became made public by RV Bay Publications. And that was maybe like 15 years ago, tops. So prior to 15 years ago, the Red Book, the Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood book, which is the second part of your Holy Quran, that you only have the first part, was hidden from you in the Adept chamber by Moors. And you want to know how come stuff's not working? You want to know how come you can't figure this out? How come stuff's not going down? Why is everybody a follower? Because if you read the Red Book, you'll realize that the priesthood is dead, which means the Grand Sheikh seat is dead. The Grand Governor seat is dead. Why do you think I don't care and I could curse and stuff like that with the name Grand Sheikh? This is not no position of power. This is dead. This is a dead seat. This is a dead seat. Why? Because people corrupted it. From 1929 to today. Still corrupting it right now as I'm talking. They're going to say that they're Supreme Grand Sheikh or whatever, and they got guns in the drawer of the goddamn Grand Sheikh desk. that they have the flag sitting on doing the cross stuff on. They got guns in the drawer. Not only do they have guns in the drawer, that they go in the drawer and they pull the gun out on Moors, saying that they're Supreme Grand Chief. You want to know what's wrong with the Moorish movement? You better take your birthright back. You better stop playing these games. If you think that there's a Moorish science temple, a Moorish holy temple of science, right, that could use your support, I don't care where you are, you better find yourself with those Moors and help them to do some of this work that needs to be done if you're faithful and if you're loyal to what Noble Drew Ali laid down. And don't be going to the fake Moors. Don't be going to the Moors who say, oh yeah, we're Moors, but we're Yamasee and we're Cherokee, and then we have our flag over here, and then we have a constitution over here, and they never mention Noble Drew Ali at all, and they don't want to study law. They just want to deal with the sciences of this, and they just want to deal with the essence of the nature of whatever, and they're not getting down with really what it is, and really what people are supposed to get down with is what Noble Drew Ali left you. And he told Moors, if he brought you everything that it takes to save a nation, take it and save yourself. And then people are going to pretend like, oh, well, no, he didn't really do his job because, they killed him before his time was up because, his age. And, if they didn't kill him, he would have lived to be 80 because he's the prophet. Better control your birthright. There's maybe very few people in the seats of power in the Moorish movement that are using that seat the way that it's supposed to be used, and that's as trustees for the people. There's very few people who are in the seats of power of the Moorish movement that tell people, come on down to the temple, bring your documents, we'll seal them and whatever like that. Come on down to the temple, you got a problem, get married. Come on down to the temple, do whatever it is that you have to do because, our job as the heads of this is to work for you and not to get paid. Because this is a Rotarian movement. This is a humanitarian movement. And when you have people like Jelani and these people talking about, oh, Cujo's messing up my money because the seat of the National Grand Chief, I'm supposed to be able to get paid in this seat because this is government and whatever. Ain't no getting paid in no seat of power when the power is in the birthright. The money is in what the hell do you do? The money isn't in sit on your ass and rape your people. The money is in, if you say that you're a Grand Chief, National Grand Chief, Grand Governor, whatever, you better have a trade or you better have some type of skill that you're using to generate finance for yourself. Me personally, on top of the books and the CDs and whatever else that I do, I also have a job. So I don't have to rely on the people to give me anything. I don't need anything from people. This is not a job for me. I'm not sitting in this seat called Grand Chief in order to rape my people. $1,200 for plates. Even $700 for plates. Even $500 for plates. Right? That's no different than the partners that we have with the studio, right? We have partners. Now they're partners with the studio. Islam to all the Moors who assisted with funding the studio. Albums getting mixed down. As soon as the album's done, everybody who made a donation, you already know you're gonna get your CD, right? It's gonna be a triple album, Wisdom of the Womb. It's called Al Moroccan's compilation, right? Just so you know, You know what I mean? So you don't think nothing's going on. It's a triple album. Triple album, right? Triple album. Just so you know that we appreciate the support. Anybody who made donation, you're gonna get your CD, right? We have partners in the studio. Partners are talking about, well, I just mixed that song down or whatever, so you guys need to pay me for. You're a partner. How are you a partner and you're getting paid in a studio that just started a month ago? That doesn't make any sense. How are you up? Now, you have a skill called engineer. Okay? Why don't you take that skill called engineer and bring clients to the studio and make them pay you $80 an hour? Why do us who are partners as well, that we're not getting paid? I'm not getting paid to rhyme on no album, rockin' album or nothing like that. I'm not getting paid for producing nothing. I'm not getting paid. No, none of the artists aren't getting paid, but you're a partner and you want to get paid? This is the same thing that's going on with this Moorish movement and these people, raping them. Their own people, mind you. When they got skills that they can utilize to make fiat so they can live, but they don't want that. They want, Moors to support them. They want Moors to go and get their hard-earned whatever, take food out of their children's mouth or whatever like that, to pay these fat asses sitting on their ass doing nothing. And when they get talked about for doing that malicious, callous, disrespectful behavior with the seat of power that they have, they're going to talk about people are slandering them? Really? People are slandering you when you're sitting on your ass, raping Moors. $500 for some $30 plates? And you tell me you're not raping people? Tell me that this is business? $500, $700, $1,200, $200, whatever. It's $30 goddamn plates. Every single individual who's Moorish American should be getting that at cost. But they won't do that. They won't give it the cost. You know what I mean? Right? They have to jack on their little, 15%, 20% so they can make a little profit off their people. Birthright, which right to travel falls under liberty, which is a right. You have a right to life, liberty, and property. You have a right to that. Rights can't be sold. And once again, comes back to people dealing with dirty Moors, right? Engaging dirty Moors, getting gamed, and then out of unity for the Moors, they don't talk about it. They don't talk about the $1,500 that they paid for their nationality. They don't talk about the $2,000 that they paid. Oh, you're not going to talk? Okay, well, make sure you send an email, canaanlandguide@gmail.com, with the names of these individuals who robbed you so we can put their ass on blast, right? And we'll make them a martyr that way by putting them out there so people know who to deal with and who not to deal with. Because the priesthood is dead. So don't be talking about grand thises and grand that's. The priesthood's dead. Everybody who says that they're grand whatever is adept, which means they're a high priest. Okay, well, priesthood is dead. Red Book told you that in 1929. You're still chasing grand sheiks around today about who's the head of the Moorish nation? You're the head of the Moorish nation. You control the Moorish movement. And if you don't think so, then maybe you're not qualified. Take off your fez, your turban, go back to being a nigger, or take your fez, put it on your child or whatever, and give them a chance. If you're too punk to stand up and be what it is that you're supposed to be. Right? Everybody complaining. Oh, I went to, RV Bay and, I tried to get my nationality from them and I tried to get my papers from them and, it took me 5 months before I got something. Well, how about you step up and go help them? How about you step up and go help them instead of complaining about stuff all the time? Everybody's complaining. Stop complaining. What are you complaining about? Everybody complaining about something. Oh, Moors got arrested. Oh, Moors this. Not all Moors get arrested. I know Moors who don't get arrested. Why don't they get arrested? More than likely because they study the Prophet. More than likely because nationality and birthrights is in them. Not something that they're trying to get, trying to whatever. It's in them. They are what they know. And if they are what they know, other people who are high priests and magi and occult warlocks or whatever like that, they're going to see that too when they come up, and they're going to want nothing to do with them because everybody knows that the Moors are the real warlocks and you don't want to mess with the real warlocks. You don't want to get on the wrong side of a Moor who's really in tune with the ancestors, because they will make you crash your car into a pole just by thought. They will make you catch something just by thought, because there's no time for playing around right now. It's either you want your birthright and you're gonna pick up your birthright and do something with it, or take off all the stuff, turn in all your stuff, throw it away, burn it, whatever, and go back to being nigger, because ain't nobody coming to you. Allah's not even coming to you. 2005, the Orishas, Olokun specifically, told me personally the ancestors gave up on our people. Gave up on them. The ancestors officially had turned their back on our people. This is 2005. You know what it means when the ancestors gave up on you? You wonder why our people's condition is how it is? That they're so punk that they're going to have some little scrawny European boy, not even a man, a boy, walk up in their church and shoot 9 people and nobody strangle that European? Nobody did nothing. Everybody just let him kill 9 people. A boy. A European boy. We're not talking about a man. A European boy. Do you know what it means? A boy killed freaking people? A boy. Not a man, a boy. No hair on his balls or nothing like that. A boy. And was God on lunch? How come God didn't save you guys? You're in the church and stuff like that. How come God didn't put bulletproof glass in front of you at a moment that he started shooting? Where was God at? I mean, black people are the most saved people. I mean, our people, they pray more than anybody. They go to church religiously every Sunday. You tell me you guys didn't abandon God after that shooting? You really still went back to church the other day. Next Sunday, you guys back in church? So you guys, you're not going to abandon Jesus? If Jesus didn't come down in a cloud of glory and come save you guys from the European? Remember, Jesus is European. So the European Jesus didn't come and tell the European who shot you guys up, hey, not these ones, you know what I mean? They've been praying for the last 50 Sundays, their tithes are up to date, like, you can't shoot them. And then you want to know why they don't respect our people? And then you want to know why Moors don't get respected? Because Moors trying to side with them. Oh yeah, unity with all the people of the black people and the Negroes and all. Yeah, let's have unity and we're gonna have kumbaya together around the fire and then yeah, that's unity. When they're stateless, so doesn't that mean you're stateless too? If you have consciousness of I'm a Moor, I have a nationality, and then you're gonna go get with somebody who is stateless, you just made yourself stateless. Because what they're gonna do, they're gonna assume that you're one of them. People are serious. Better, better study what Noble Drew Ali brought you, and stop relying on learning from these dirty bastards who are trying to sell you out and enslave you, telling you join their stuff. And they got fake flags and they got freaking um all these different Indian tribes that they're trying to say that they're that. Why don't you just say that you're Moors? Like why are you saying that you're 50 different tribes? Why not just say that you're Moors? If Moors, if all those Indian tribes are dark-skinned people, and Moor, Blackamoor, means any dark-skinned person, then why don't you just say that you're Moors? Why are you saying you're 50, 100 tribes? Oh, because then if they say that they're Moors, then they're going to have to show allegiance to Noble Drew Ali. Well, they don't want to do that, because if they show allegiance to Noble Drew Ali, then that means they can't play the game of raping people. They can't play the game of stealing people's birthright or selling it to them, because they look very hypocritical. They start doing that when you study Noble Drew Ali stuff, and Noble Drew Ali is telling you something contrary to that, right? Eric More Knowledge Wilson, another one of these dirty Moors, right? He's there, he's talking about he has more knowledge, MUUR knowledge, right? That's the knowledge that he has, but he's on Facebook with pictures talking about this means black power. So you're telling me that you're a Moor and you're on black power? But if you're a Moor, you're not Negro black power. So, like, what are you gonna say that you're? How are you gonna the black power when you're saying that you have more knowledge? And if you have more knowledge, then you know you're not Negro black color, and black power is dead power, pale power. What are you doing with that? Oh, because Dirty Moore sent him, right? To put all this propaganda, screenshot propaganda, mind you, right? Now, for most people that know of the Moors and the Moorish Empire, know the Moors started in Africa, then went to Spain, then to the Americas. Moors went to Spain and then to the Americas. So if Moors went to Spain and then to the Americas, why would Spain have an inquisition against the Moors and come over here and there's Moors here? Why would a Moor say that Moors went to Spain when Spain came about in 1492? And before Spain, it was called something else. But dirty Moors, minions of dirty Moors, old dirty Moors in new Moor skin, they think they're smarter than Cujo. They think because Cujo's going back and forth with them on some thread that oh yeah, we got him on the hook or whatever. You know, computers, Facebook, YouTube, Ustream is virtual reality. You know what virtual means? Or if it's virtual, then it's not a reality, is it? And the only reality is when you take what you get on here and then you go check it out where you're at in real life, in a real book. And then it becomes reality. Until then, it's virtual. Anything going on in there is virtual. So the Moors left Africa at one time in the early whatever, they don't give that date, but they sailed here to America and were the first ones on the land, starting with the Olmec civilization first and then building the Americas from there. Also at one time the Moors left Africa, then went to Spain and taught them all kinds of culture. Also again, for some strange reason, like I said before, United States Corporation came to the Americas and Moors signed a treaty land grant for the United States to do business, which again putting the indigenous people in slavery, and they didn't claim Moorish descent. Now, for some questions that the Moors always dodge, because of course they are common sense questions, which are not in the Moorish American Bible handbook for them to answer. These are the Moors that are out there. Moors talking like this, right? Moorish American Bible handbook. They're gonna crash their whip because they think that Prophet's dead and Allah is, you know, some spooky Islamic name or something. You really think that you you're having problems in your life as a Moor because European? No, it's probably because you don't honor the Prophet. It's probably because you're denouncing the Prophet to uphold some dirty bastard and think nothing's gonna come back to you. And there's a reason. Tell you the reason. The reason why I talk how I talk is because early in 2009 or something like that, months into this, months into this, when I dreamt about the Prophet and I seen him say no words, just smiling with me, no words, just smiling, I knew that ain't nobody gonna tell me anything about this. If I have a national grand sheik who has my phone number, he's on Facebook too, and he's not telling me about, yo, Kudro, you know, nobody can tell me anything. If I have a divine minister, he's on Facebook too. He's not coming and calling me on the phone and telling me, oh, yeah, why are you saying that? Why are you swearing and whatever? Nobody can tell me. Any other Moors who gave us a charter to have a Moor science temple in Canaanland isn't calling me on the phone and telling me, well, if nobody that I learn from, that I call master teacher, isn't telling me, yo, Kutra, you need to calm down with it, then don't think nobody else out there can tell me anything. Because, you know, I ain't got no authority from you. That's just like this um, Cobra assassin Mufti or whatever down with Jelani, you know, coming at me like Jelani, respect Jelani like he's my national grand chief. You're not my national grand chief. And he jacked us for 2,000. And you're gonna tell me, what do you mean 2,000? It's 1,400. Yeah, 1,400 US. Convert 1,400 US into Canadian. Tell me how much it is. Especially now. So questions that more, more dodge, right? Why isn't your nationality just American? But instead, it's two-word nationalities like Asian American, Dominican American, African American, or just like the corporation United States, because people in their countries only refer to their nationality with one word like Asian, Russian, Italian, Mexican, but for some strange reason, yours is two-word Moorish American. Why? Because we have a prophet, and the prophet, Noble Drew Ali, told us that our nationality is Moorish American. And if Allah sent the prophet to redeem us from our sinful ways and to teach us that we're not Negro, black, colored, and we have to proclaim something, and he told us why we're Moorish American, why wouldn't we say that we're Moorish American? And if you say that you're not Moorish American, obviously you're not with the prophet. And don't go there, well, the RV Bay, it says more American. Yeah, but if you read the back, it says Moorish American at the back. So don't talk stupid. Don't talk stupid. Noble Ali told the Moors that we're Moorish American because we're descendants of Moroccans born in America. Why do we have a two-name nationality? Stupid, it's one name. Moorish is Moroccan and American is Moroccan. Jackasses. We're Moroccans born in America, so we're Moorish American. American is from Al-Moroccan, Al-Maroc, Maghrib Al-Aqsa, America. Moorish is from Moroccan. And we're not going to call ourselves Moroccan. And we're not going to call ourselves Moroccan. Because those were the people that sold out. We're going to call ourselves Moroccan. So what did Drew Ali do? Recalibrated Moroccan. He took Moroccan and vibrated it on such a high frequency that it became something new. That's the prophet. You really think he didn't know what he was doing? If Moors signed a peace and treaty with United States to do business in the Americas, stop right there. Moors didn't sign no treaty with Moroccans did. Go check the record and you tell me where it says Moors signed a treaty with United States. Moroccans did. Another reason why Noble Drew Ali said we're descendants of Moroccans born in America, but we're Moorish. So don't even try to tie us to, some fraud of letting this European be down with, being top government and all this stuff like that, and then try to put that on us like that. Don't even try that. Don't even go there. Because you already know when you look at the Sultan that he was paler than Noble Drew Ali. So clearly he was modern Moroccan. He wasn't ancient. Clearly. If Moore signed the Peace Land Treaty, I don't know, you sound like somebody who doesn't study Eric Moore Knowledge Wilson. The Peace Land Treaty. Ain't no treaty called Peace Land Treaty. But again, these are the Moors. The dirty Moors that come on these little social network crap and throw stuff out there because they know that there's so many weak minds out there, that there's so many people who don't study, there's so many people who take this Moorish birthright as some Oh yeah, I got the card, so now I'm a Moor. And don't study, that they could tell them anything. They tell them anything. They tell them that somebody came from some other planet, and they'll buy it and then go jump on that thing. When they know about Noble Drew Ali, and they know he never came from no other planet, he came from Cherokees or whatever like that, Aboriginal indigenous people of the Americas. He told you he went in certain places, dug in the ground, pulled up stuff with Egyptian writing on it and all that stuff to show Moors, you're home. The Moors don't want their own stuff that their prophet brought for them. And then gonna be liking. You know what people I seen like this guy's stuff? Moors, who's supposed to know better, liking stupid people stuff. Right? Pages and pages of this crap. Right? If the European helped me, why not you? Heading home on the Q train yesterday, when this Moor nods off on the shoulder of a Jewish man. The man doesn't move a muscle, just lets him stay there. After a minute, I asked the man if he wanted me to wake the kid up. Right? So first it's a Moor, and then the Moor is talking about wake up the kid. You don't know why we have problems? Right? Heading home on the Q train yesterday, this Moor nods off on the shoulder of a Jewish man. And then the next sentence, after a minute, I asked the man if he wanted me to wake the kid up. I thought he was a Moor. How is he a Moor and then he's a kid after? But he shook his head and responded, he must have had a long day. Let him sleep. We've all been there, right? European. Jew too. So honors to the Jewish man, the Ashkenazi, that let the young God sleep on his shoulder. Because he had a hard day. And European Ashkenazi knows what a hard day is like. And said, let the brother sleep. But white man's the devil though. Right? White man's the devil. And what did the brother want to do? Wake the brother up. And then wake him up. Have him wake up on this guy's shoulder and then be embarrassed or whatever. And you want to know why our children freaking, have issues. Have confidence issues. Guaranteed. Would have woke the man up and he would have been embarrassed that he's almost in the guy's lap sleeping. But the Jew, right? The Jew man who knew what was up said, don't worry about it. Let him sleep. On another level, you know what I mean? Jewish man's probably tired himself. And now he has God leaning on him. So he's about to do his little Jewish Kabbalah or whatever, and suck some energy from this guy because goddamn, God's leaning on me right now. God's resting his head on my shoulder. Why would a European have the ancient foremother and forefathers of the universe put his head on Jew man's shoulder and let him get up? Why? You know what props he's gonna get when he goes to the other side just for this act right here? When he leaves the earth plane, there's a Jewish man right here. You know what props he's gonna get just for this right here? Just for this. Right? And then our people are getting shot up by some European boy and going to hell because of their stupidity. Jewish boy killing 9 people, and all of them, and everybody in that congregation going to hell for their stupidity, for their incompetence. But Moors don't know what we're talking about. We don't know what we're talking about. So let's get to some of these questions that people got and whatever else, because we don't know what we're talking about. Brother Markel Robinson, right? Now, Brother Robinson, keep in mind that your name is Mark L. Why is your name Mark L? Why is it that you're gravitating towards this information, but your name's Markel, Markel? Who? You think that's a sign letting you know something? Mark L. Just think about it. Islam fam, I just recently began studying history and moral science primarily through RV Bay publications. That's good. That's excellent. Stay there. Don't move from there. Stay there. Start at the top of the page, click the thing, read anything on that page to click them, download them, print them out, whatever, make yourself little booklets that you could, whatever, print stuff out. You could be on the bus, driving, whatever. All the audio stuff that's on there, download them, put them on a CD, play them in the car, whatever. But that's where you want to be. The biggest online university for Moorish Americans. Not MUURs or MOREs or MOORs and whatever. For Moorish Americans. That's your online university. rvbaypublications.com. And watching videos on YouTube. Are you familiar with Queen Valhara Bay? Yes, very familiar. Was she an agent? Yes, she was an agent. That's why you don't see anything other than those 3 videos or 4 videos from her. And you haven't seen anything else from her because she was an agent. Yes, she was an agent. What did she do? Same thing like what a lot of these other Moors do. Go to RV Bay publications, go to Taj Street Bay classes, go to Sister Rosmaria Bay classes, go to Moors who have been doing this for free classes, extract information, and then sell it to people. And I'm telling you, I have first-hand knowledge that she was doing that. And she pretty much got ran out of town. That's why she's not around no more. Because certain people weren't going to let her play queen. You know the reason why she says that she's Queen Valhara Bay? Because in order for, in their little society of Moors, right? Just like, all these other so-called pseudo-Moorish groups that just pop out of nowhere, and they got flag, and they got all this stuff, and they got silver, and whatever like that, and they're calling themselves emperor, and they're calling themselves queen, and king, whatever, and all that stuff. You know why she did that? She called herself queen in order for her to get 10% of everybody who's in that society, whatever, check where they work. They work somewhere, and because she's their queen, they had to give her 10% or 15%, 20%, whatever it is. She was getting tithes from the people in her own little society. That's documented fact. How is it a documented fact? Her name's Queen. Find me somebody else out there with beyond their name that calls herself Queen. Find me one. And I bet you, if you do find one, they're collecting some tithes or they're playing some, you know, I'm the position or whatever. No, priesthood is dead. What are you talking about? You're a queen of something. Priesthood's dead. That's why in Trevor Hamilton's letter, right, when he made the statement that, well, you know, that temple says everybody's supposed to be a grand sheik, but it doesn't seem like they're doing stuff like that. Why? It doesn't seem like we're doing stuff like that because all these people want to be goddamn followers. They want Grand Sheik to do stuff. Don't come to Grand Sheik to do nothing. I'm waiting for you to tell me what to do. Like, you're my boss. I'm not the head of nothing. The people are the head. Juali said that. This is your Moorish movement. Well, what don't you get? Well, we need to get direction of the. Well, you need direction. Go read the Quran. Go read. You want to be a good Moorish leader? Go read the Quran. Go read the Divine Constitution. Like, what don't you get? The priesthood is dead. You know what dead means? Priesthood is dead. And that's across the board. Rabbi, dead. Imam, dead. Pastor, dead. Monk, dead. Nun, dead. Grand Sheik, dead. Sheikess, dead. You're now the authority. What are you going to do with your powers? Sit on them like whoopee cushions? Or are you going to do something with it? The choice is yours. You want to see the Moorish movement move? You want to see Moors be active? Then be active. Only way this is going to move, only way you're going to see some salvation is if you save yourself first. And of course, and your children, you know, whatever, posterity, nieces, nephews, whatever, will be man, you know, because if you really think that Noble Juali came to make you some follower of some guy, and he could wear all white, and he could hold an umbrella over him and walk down the street, and yeah, you might need this. Yeah, this is our grand supreme of the whatever. Y'all some Christians, and you need to turn in your fez, turn in your whatever, and go back to the state where the prophet found you, because he came here for strong men and women, not no spineless bastards who don't want to be the head, don't want to lead. You got all the instructions, you got Divine Constitution, you got additional laws, you got 101 questionnaire, you got Moorish literature, you got oral statements, you got Holy Quran of Moorish Science Temple, you got rvbpublications.com, you got morishciviletter.com, you got Grand Sheik Natures classes, you got Kudro's classes, you got Taj classes, you got Alim Bey classes, you got Asir classes, you got, what more do you want? What do you want in order for you to take your place? Like, what else do you want? Right? Priesthood's dead before the apostolic letter. Priesthood been dead. Priesthood's been dead for so long that anybody coming up to you telling you, yeah, we're starting up this whatever, and we want you to, all right, you know, let me see what you got. Well, you know, the plan is that we're gonna, but then we have this guy over here, and he's the head guy. That's eh, 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 eh. Freaking alarm should be going off. So the priesthood's dead. And the apostolic letter verifies that fact, that Priesthoods dead. Oh yeah, don't forget the barristers and the lawyers and whatever like that, judges, whatever like that. All those guys are priesthood too. Yep, they're dead too. Oh yeah, and the doctors and all those guys are dead too. The psychologists, and why do you think Umar lost his stuff? Because priesthood's dead. Where are you getting $2 million for freaking stuff when they got $1 places that you can go buy? You go down to the county recorder's office and they'll give you a list of abandoned stuff and you can pay $1 for most of those places. You want to collect 2 million and then stuff fall through and then you blame strippers and stuff like that? How about blame the fact that priesthood's dead? Nobody need to be no psychology, nothing of anything. Why is doctors dead? Doctors dead. They've been selling people anti-biology pills, telling people vaccines. Right? How are you gonna tell somebody vaccinate your children? Okay, vaccinate them. So now you have all these children vaccinated. Then one person comes and says, oh no, sorry, you know what I mean? I'm in my proper person, whatever like that. I know the law, I know whatever. They had this form called, vaccination exemption form on the school website. So I just downloaded that, signed that, and my child doesn't get vaccinated. And then now they go to school and now everybody wants to kick that child out because he never got vaccinated. But all you guys got vaccinated. Why are you worried about catching the flu if you got vaccinated? So you got vaccinated, but you're worried about catching the flu from somebody who didn't get vaccinated when vaccination is supposed to make sure you don't get the flu. So why are you worried about somebody who didn't get vaccinated? But you don't think or whatever. So they suffer. But Raleigh laid down everything. All the people got to do is think and save themselves. Drew Ali said that. Think and save yourself. People not going to do it, no thinking. Zero thinking. So let's go again. This is a testimonial, just to show the Moors, right, that when you study and you study and you study and you studied well and you ask yourself, what do I study next? Study yourself. And then, when you study yourself, you're not stopping there. Because remember, when you study yourself, now you go back again. You start back again. Study, study, and study. And then when you study all yourself 3 times, then you're like, what do I study next? And then, you go wherever the Spirit takes you. Because after you study, and then study yourself, and then study, you should know where you want to go from there. If you still got questions and stuff like that, where you should study, what you should study, obviously, your brainwash is pretty serious. You need to go back to the first study again. Because in a way that you don't know where you're supposed to go after you study 6 times. 3 times just studying, and 3 times on yourself. That's supposed to break the hex. That's supposed to break the brainwash. If the brainwash is not broken, your ass needs some more studying. That's nothing personal. I mean, that's what it is. Nothing personal. But we need to be what we know. And the only way that we're going to be what we know is if we study. That's why Todd's been telling people for 30 years, I don't want no followers. Don't follow me. Don't follow me. Digest what I said and go research it and prove me wrong so that you can prove yourself right. Prove me wrong. Use that as your study inspiration. Your study inspiration is that when you hear a more, somebody comes up that says that, they know something or whatever like that, and they put something out there, something. You go study something and see if, when you study something, doesn't line up with what this individual said. If it doesn't line up, then you know that that guy's a fraud. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's about to game you. If the stuff lines up, now you have somebody that you can use as a reference point. Like we said in the Right to Travel class. One Taj DVD. I would watch for weeks. One. I would watch that one for weeks. And like notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks. Just notebooks. Just pieces of paper everywhere. Just scribble stuff. Okay, I gotta check this out. I gotta check this out. Gotta check this out. Gotta check that out. Gotta check this out. Gotta check that out. Okay, I'll check this out. Whatever. Weeks. One. You put on something from Brother Abdullah, and he'll have you studying stuff for weeks. I'm talking about you listen to him for 20 minutes or whatever like that. You get so much information in 20 minutes that he'll have you busy for weeks studying. You go on Blog Talk Radio on MHHS tonight at 9:30, right? You listen from 10 o'clock to 10:30. Guarantee you leave with a page of notes of stuff you didn't know that you can go research. Right? So Brother Amazite Bey sent us testimonial. Islam family, I don't want to make this testimony long. In 2014 Roman calendar, I, Amazite Bey, was kidnapped by the corporate town of Ferriday, Louisiana. Once the so-called corporation found out my status, they took off the hold and released me. After I was released, I sent writs to everybody, including the international community, respective parties. That same night, 3 days passed, and the so-called corporation contacted me to say that they have so much of my paper in front of their face that they don't want any problems. And that they are small fish and they will never bother me. In closing, I never set foot in their so-called courtroom ever again. And whoever says more status sucks and don't have a remedy versus black status haven't done any studying and is not competent. Islam, and shout out to Prophet Noble Juali, right? First and foremost, you got to give honors to the Prophet or you're not going to make it through. He told you that. If you don't use me first, you're not making it through the fire. Right? Juali told Moors, if you do not put me up front, you're not making it through the fire. Noble Juali told the Moors, if you think that you got finance and you're not going to give it to me, all that finance is going to burn up in your pocket. So, shout out to Prophet Noble Juali, RVBayPublications.com, MHHS, Canaanland Moors, GS, Brother Mario L. Bey, Grandmaster Taj Tariq Bey, and the ancestors for teaching me how to be myself. Moors, be yourself. And I will send a screenshot of the so-called charges. Right? What you can do to assist in enforcing the law. So make sure that you study, 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 study some more. Study some more. And study some more. Because, that's what it is. Right? You want to put another thing on the record. Put another thing on the record. This one's pretty messed up, but this is just so people know what's up. So got a sister, if you saw the town hall meeting, Sister Amina took it upon herself, you know what I mean, to took it upon herself to um, start up summer program, children's summer program. Right? Unfortunately, we did not get enough students enrolled in the program for it to proceed. The summer program will be canceled this year, 2015. We will be promoting the Moorish Into program again either in the winter or summer 2016. You will be contacted personally at that time to be informed that your child has a spot secured. If you are still interested at the time, we will proceed with the process. If not, you may remove your child from the class. Sorry for any disappointments this may cause. I assure you that all things happen at the right time. So, we just want to give honors to the sister for, attempting to do something to assist her people, because she was of the mentality that this is for everybody. She wasn't just looking at Moors only or whatever. She's looking at anybody who had children, sign up, and nobody signed up. Let you know where our people are at. They're gonna go march and picket, for some BS. Right? That's where they're at. Um, now, somebody brought up England. Right? If you were born in England, will you be a Britannic Moor or Moorish American? Well, considering England isn't in America, you're not going to be Moorish American. That's for sure. Secondly, when you research Noble Drew Ali, he told you get a good European education, because then he can use you. The truth of the matter is that the European education is really Moorish because we taught them. So somebody brought up, Brother Gary Biandi L. selling courses online. Is that right or wrong? Well, considering, because I deal with Brother Gary, good brother. Knows what he's talking about because he did his research. The fact that we're not out there, we only have online access. He has hands-on access to information out there, right? So if he's doing some classes or whatever like that, I suggest you go take them classes if you're out there, because I don't think there's anybody else that's teaching about the history of the Moors in that jurisdiction other than him. I don't think there's anybody else that's teaching. I ain't seen anybody else. We can say Brother Sheldon L, but he's more Canaanland. He just lives out there. He just when he goes on his travels, being a shoe designer, Goes on his travels, he finds stuff and he documents it, and then he comes and presents it to the family. But he's not like, it's not like he's North American. He was his family. Right? His pops and my pops, they got the house close together and stuff like that. In islands. So we have to, learn to exercise our thinking. If we go to the additional laws, so divine constitution and bylaws, and then the additional laws. And we go to Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings. How come there's certain people who have more Science Temple of America talking about a 10-year service? Just a thought. Clearly, Drawley said attend your meetings. So why are people talking about attend the service? Out there playing. And send their children to Sunday school. And the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so. So if you're able to exercise your 5 senses, you should be doing that. No even questions asked. That's something you should be doing. If you have 5 senses, you should be doing that. Right? Oh, and as usual, hit up the Vortex. Islam to the 22 Moors. That's online. Peace and love. You already know how the Vortex goes. So, what we'll do for the last half hour is we'll go through some of the Moorish guide literature, which was made and put on the public record by Noble Drawley in the Moorish Guide newspaper, so that everybody could have access to the teachings. What did they do? Stop the paper, right? Stop the paper, so you don't have access to his stuff. And then what they did is that they took all his literature and put it in a book form. And I'll tell you that you have to pay for that, whatever, when, it was in the paper. So we'll go through some of those as much as we can, just to get a perspective from Noble Drawley and what he was putting out there for the Moors to have access to and right, from their prophet, right, from your prophet. And remember, keep in mind that people are going to play the game with you. Oh, you say Noble Drawley or whatever, oh, you're a worshiper of a dead man and all this type of stuff or whatever like that. No, we don't worship dead man. Noble Drawley brought us information. And because of the information that Noble Drawley brought, we listened to it, studied it, cross-referenced it, we tried it out, it works, so we give him supreme honor. We're not worshiping no dead man. That's not what this is about at all. This is not about worshiping Noble Drawley. He came to make you Moorish leaders, and he told you to think and save yourself. A warning from the Prophet for all governors and grand sheikhs and head officials of all temples. Renew your acts, amend your ways. Why is he saying that? Why is he starting off with that? Renew your acts and mend your ways. And he's talking to all governors and grand sheiks and head officials of all temples. Head officials of all temples. Renew your acts, amend your ways. Because the great conference is on its way, and in it is where the law will be enforced before the great grand body. The continuance of the present officers in the temple will depend on your past good work. The continuance. So in order for you to continue being ahead in the Moorish movement, it will depend on your past good work. So everybody who says that they're grand whatever, right? There should be some type of tracking sheet of their work that they've done when they took office to today. And we're supposed to go and we're supposed to check and make sure that, they did good work. If they did good work, then they have continuance in office. If they didn't do good work, time to step down and get somebody else up there. Those who have been delinquent may not know that they will not be tolerated any longer, because this great divine and national movement must move on according to law. These things shall be proclaimed. There is no favorite in any of the temples, for the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work must be governed accordingly. All are one. There is but one temple in this nation, and there is but one prophet of the temples. I come to speak to all nations, bringing them a message of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. In the head of every temple, if anyone has violated these divine laws, it will mean his discontinuance. For no man is to be under the influence of intoxicating liquors, nor to seek to tear up the families while under the influence of evil motive. Nor must he speak anything that will prejudice the minds of the public against the divine movement. If any of the laws are violated, anybody, grand sheik or sheiks, can file charges against the violation to the grand body over which the prophet presides. This power is vested in 7 or more sheiks for the protection of your temple, and the divine movement. The Prophet Noble Juali. Prophet makes a plea to the nation. Our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the Prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and the American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. Okay? So the movement was dedicated to a specific perspective. And Noble Drew Ali had suffered much and severely in the past because of the misunderstanding of what this is. And why is there misunderstanding? Because people became followers. When there's no need to be a follower. Because Drew Ali brought everything it takes to save a nation. And we're supposed to take it and save ourselves. And when we take it and save ourselves, like, Brother Amazite, that's supposed to inspire other people to want to save themselves too. Because, if it's going to go down like that, and then they're going to tell you about, we don't want to ruffle any feathers and stuff like that, we're just going to leave you alone and let you do your thing, thanks for letting us, read your papers or whatever like that, but I think we're good. You're good. That's supposed to inspire people. Why we throw up all those receipts of no tax, no tax, no tax, no tax, and all that stuff. Inspire people. But if the people are so blind because they're listening to The View and Jennifer Lopez and whatever other reality show that they think is a reality is not a reality, they're watching that stuff, then they're going to be slaves forever. So then it comes right back around 360 to save yourself. Don't even worry about them people. Like they say, let the dead bury the dead and keep it moving. It is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this Moorish and national movement. So when we look at the Moorish movement in 2015 and we start saying, oh, the Moors, the Moors, we're saying that the great God Allah, has the movement in this position for nothing. Allah messed up. That's why the movement is where it is right now. Allah set this up like this, so you can see where you fit in this madness. So we can start correcting this. Because the people who've been doing dirt don't think that they're gonna get correct and fix something. The people who realize that this is their Moorish movement better step up. And don't worry about what they're gonna say. Don't worry about them trying to tell you you can't and why you're doing that and where you get the authority to do whatever. Tell them that Prophet gave you authority. Tell them that it's the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. And since Allah is in man, and I'm man or woman, then I'm supposed to guide the destiny of this Moorish movement. Once I stick to the principles. Don't think you're Allah and man and you do whatever you want, make up flags and 1500 we can get you nationalized, and don't fall. Don't do that to yourself. So Jawali told you that, he's gonna be on the soul plane doing work. So he knows what's up. He sees what's going on. And it's not he doesn't know. That's why more get trapped up. Because you can't pretend like you're down with the Prophet when you're really not down with the Prophet, because he's watching. And you think if he could control the ethers from the earth plane, what do you think he could do from the soul plane? With regard to Moors, and Moors doing stuff and saying stuff and getting themselves in things that they shouldn't be in. Prophet is live and well on the soul plane. And if he could manipulate the ethers on the earth plane, what do you think he could do from the soul plane? I know all true American citizens are identified by national descent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. That's why I am calling on all true national citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing to help this national government. For without a free national name, without a descent flag of your forefathers, there is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. For without a free national name, so you have to have that. So you have to have the free national name part, right? What's free national name? Moorish American. So we got that. Without a descent flag of your forefathers, Noble Jolly brought us the flag. The other people are going to deny it, say that that's not the flag, make up something, and then tell you that that's the flag, right? And then have you following that, and then you start following that and you realize that, damn, how come my life sucks? How come stuff's always going on in my life? How come I'm always the one in problems? How come IRS is always coming at me? How come I have how come because you're claiming that more, you're down with the prophet, you're down with, but then everything that the prophet brought, everything that the prophet said is not part of your mentality. You're gonna have problems. This is from your true and divine prophet to all American and foreign sympathizers. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Think this over, you Moors. All sheiks, grand sheiks, must prepare for the prophet before he comes to visit them. Must see to it that all is clean and in perfection as far as comfort is possible, or otherwise don't arrange to have his presence. All members should pay from 25 cents to 50 cents weekly towards the emergency fund. Don't forget, that's lawful silver or gold. It's 1913 to 1929. They didn't bring fiat yet. Right? So they're dealing with real currency. This fund will increase so that it will soon amount to the grand sum of $1,000. That is, if you are loyal Moors. That is, if you are loyal Moors. If you are more loyal Moors. The emergency fund goes into the bank. The treasurer will tend to the responsibility of seeing that the money is in the bank. Yes, and under the name of Moorish Science Temple of America Finance. When needed, act according to the law pertaining to the procedure of performing an emergency act. No head of any said temple is to borrow from any member more than $5 to $10 unless by notification of the prophet, the necessity for the loan. When any said temple desires to purchase property, they must first notify the grand body or the prophet, and it must be purchased under the name of Moorish Science Temple of America or Noble Drew Ali. An individual name should never be applied. I, Noble Drew Ali, am responsible for all finance, so therefore let I, the prophet, know what is on me. Some of you have slipped drastically. So you had better lace up your shoes before I get there. Everything, every business transaction or anything pertaining to finance is to be transacted in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America or Noble Drew Ali. We Moors must maintain a grand treasurer, just as in the days of our forefathers. Then you are a nation. Until then, you are nothing. You got problems? These guys had their treasurer. And treasury and looking around, all these dues coming in, 25, 50 cents weekly, going towards the emergency fund, all the manufacturing companies, all this stuff, and we have no central treasurer right now, no central treasury. Wonder why there's issues? You know what Charlie told you. More slipped than they slipped right. Not just that they slipped. They didn't just slip. They slipped and slipped drastically. That means stuff's bad. The emergency fund is issued by no book, but by an emergency card punched according to contribution, then marked on the book. That is the law, and the law must live. The government is behind me, and I must get behind you. For I must uphold and enforce the law. My mission, this is the Noble Drew Ali talking. My mission is to save you Moors. Why wouldn't we honor him? Why wouldn't we give him the respect that he deserves? He didn't come for himself. He came for us, to redeem us. We're not talking no preacher or whatever. We're talking about law, government. We're talking about principles. We're talking about getting us out of mental slavery. He came to do these things, and many people were against him doing that. Because if he woke the people up, then certain people can't eat. They're going to have to go get a job. And they didn't want to get a job. They wanted to live off their people. They wanted to literally live off their people. The heads of all temples, grand sheiks, grand sheikhs, must conform to the divine principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They must live the life among the members and be loved even as the Prophet is loved. They must not practice the principle of segregation among any group in his or her temple. Let it be he or she that is head of any temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that if there should come any grievance that cannot be settled by the head, notify the Prophet at once. No member is to attend Adab chamber that has not lived a moral and clean life, and has not paid his or her dues or assessments, providing that he or she is working or able, cannot consider himself a Moor. So if you don't pay your dues, don't consider yourself a Moor. It's Prophet. If you don't pay your dues, don't consider yourself a Moor. And in this time, dues could be pick up paper, clean the sink out, clean the toilet, throw the garbage out, clean the windows, sweep up the place, fix the shelf, wipe the board down, put the chairs out, pick the chairs up. But it takes finances. So don't get carried away with only doing stuff and not putting any finance in, because you gotta put some finance in. But traders must be excluded from the books after having a fair trial by the head of their temple, and that must be sent to the grand body. And all members that are able to subscribe towards the uplifting fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. And those that are able and fail to act are not Moors but traitors to their cause and trust and their nation. So if you are in a position where you can assist the Moorish movement, right, and you are able to act and fail to act, you're not a Moor, you're a traitor, right? For all those Moors who want to sell packages, and then when they sell the package, they're pocketing the package, they're not taking that fiat and doing something to assist, the upkeep. They're letting stuff run crazy. And the penalty, and those that are able and fail to act are not Moors but traitors to their cause and trust and their nation, and are not allowed to share all the Moorish honors. And the penalty is embezzlement of the faith of our creed. All heads of all temples must observe these laws by the Prophet. The Prophet wasn't playing. He did everything that he was supposed to do and more. He did everything that he was supposed to do and more. And Morris figured that, he didn't do what he's supposed to do. So we're going to step in and make sure that, whatever gets done, when, they were jealous of his fame and nobility. And all they wanted to do was be in the seat so they can stagnate this movement so that it is where it is today, with, confusion and people don't know this and that and blah, 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 when everybody could get back to where we're supposed to be if they just study the Prophet. He said he brought everything that it takes to save a nation. How does somebody say that he brought everything it takes to save a nation. And then other people are saying, well, I don't think he brought everything because whatever. And then people are going to go follow them. How is he going to say he brought everything that it takes to save a nation and show you a flag? And then there's other people saying that they're Moors, but their flag doesn't look like the flag that he said is the flag of the nation. Temple tax necessary. Convention votes unanimously. Tax paid monthly. Because of the fact that the expense of the operation of the temple is increasing so fast that it was found necessary to vote a tax to the prophet to carry on the work. This idea was concurred with by the Supreme Grand Council. This act is so arranged that it will not be a burden to any of the temples, but the prophet is very emphatic that it shall not be ignored. The expense of operation has heretofore been taken care with funds received from the manufacturing department. From the manufacturing department. If there's a manufacturing department, then there must be manufacturers. If there's manufacturers, then there must be factories. This is all the stuff that we had. That more is still around today. More is still around today, right? Maybe you lose all your stuff that you're supposed to get. Right? It's no different than you're supposed to inherit your mom's house or whatever, grandmom's house, and pastor comes and slides in and takes it from you. When he has an obligation to make sure you get the house. Slide in and talk about, nah, Jesus would want your mom to have, give it to the church. And then stupid idiot is going to go give it to the church, give it to the church. Hence, the tax was necessary. The tax is 25 cents per month per capita. This will mean that the numerical strength of the temple will bear the proper share of the responsibilities of the operation. This per capita tax is intended to supply all members alike, governors and grand sheiks included. Okay. So that's where your pay comes from, the per capita tax. Your pay doesn't come from charge more, whatever. The seat people, the high seat people, their stuff, right? Their stuff, their paycheck comes from the per capita tax. Logically, because that's how government, even on the corporate side, get paid by taxes. Tax, where are my taxpayers' dollars going? You know how when people talk about that, or people who vote and stuff like that, where are my taxpayers' dollars going? What do you guys do with my taxpayer? My tax? I paid taxes. I should have the right to whatever. Right, exact same thing that Noble Drew Ali was setting up for the Moors before these cities and stuff like that were set up. The governor or officer in charge of each temple will cause a report to be rendered to the Supreme Grand Business Manager of the Supreme Grand Council, which will specify and itemize the following: number of adepts, number of members, number of new members taken in each month, or those who join after the rendition of the last report. 25 cents must accompany the name of each such members as the representation tax. The per capita tax collection begins November 1st, 1928. All concerned will save themselves penalized if they render their reports promptly and specifically, because otherwise it will necessitate a representative calling on such delinquent temples and auditing of their books, which expense will be borne by the temple. All governors and other officers will be held responsible for the representation tax and report by order of the Prophet Noble Juali. So with that, you see where he was going with regard to Moorish Divine and National Movement, Moorish Science Temple of America, all its subsidiaries, and making the statement that you are a government. So we have to recognize, right, that people have came into this and they did their best to try to sway the perspective, to try to get the people to think that, Noble Juali didn't bring them their salvation. And unfortunately, certain things that should have been done weren't done, so can't really be done. But just as good, we take what we can and do what we will with it, because Allah is guiding all of us faithful, loyal Moors that are active. So once again, I want to throw the shout out to the 22 viewers out there, Islam for being in class. Don't forget, 9:30, Moorish Heritage and History School. Call-in number 347-945-5899. 347-945-5899. blogtalkradio.com/MHHS-eyes wide open. That's at 9:30. And tonight is actually Freestyle Tuesday. So please, if you got your testimonials, if you got whatever else, make sure you call into the show. You got questions, call into the show. And, let your voice be heard. I say peace and love to all the Moors. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Continue to study and continue to acknowledge and recognize your prophet and your divine Moorish movement. Don't let these dirty Moors take your stuff away. You have an obligation to make sure that if you have a turban and fez and you know that you're Moorish American because you study to know who you are, that you defend the prophet and your Moorish movement. And don't let these dirty Moors take your stuff. And don't let these dirty Moors intimidate you into giving up your stuff. But this is yours. Close out with the prayer. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through His holy prophet, Noble Juali. Islam, praise Allah. Give thanks, and we'll connect at 9:30. Peace and love.